So let's look at some of the science behind this. So there is sort of a collective personality of cultures. Some cultures are going to be higher in openness. Some cultures are going to be higher in agreeableness. So when you look at different nations, like when you look at Japan, there's a very collective ideal within their country. So Japanese are going to have, as a whole, they're going to exhibit high traits of agreeableness. Agreeableness is something that their country is going to exude. Whereas a country like the Netherlands, it is off the charts in terms of individuality. So they're going to be less agreeable, and they might be a little bit more argumentative. They might, when you're discussing with them a point, they're going to be making their own point very strongly. So those two nations, when you put them together, so all this to say is anthropologists see that there are tendencies for groups, even nations, to have a certain personality profile that gets magnified within their group, maybe because of genetics. We don't know exactly the mechanism that causes that to happen, but it is definitely a thing that different groups have different personalities, and they tend to have more of a certain personality trait within their group than other groups do. So just keep in mind that this has been observed by scientists who study groups, anthropologists and sociologists, that this is a thing. This is a real reality that each group community that you serve can have a community dynamic that relates to the personality traits. Okay, so we're going to give you one example of what some anthropologists have found within communities of people, this tightness and looseness trait. So this kind of relates to agreeableness in the idea of how strong the social norms are within the organization. So anthropologists have noticed that there are some societies that have a tighter hold on their social norms, and tolerance for deviance is low. So Japan would be one of those cultures. Some Islamic cultures have this. So there is a greater conformity to the standards, whereas an individualistic culture, like we mentioned, the Netherlands, the United States, these cultures have less of a hold on the collective norms. There's more individual variation. There's more room for more individuals to express their personality traits in different ways. So that's also an observation done by social scientists within groups of people. So all that I'm doing here is helping you to understand that there are observations that have been done by scientists that this is a real thing, that communities and groups of people have personality traits that they hold collectively. And so you can kind of look for them when you are serving a community, and that will help you in your work with communities that you serve to make it more effective.